Welcome to DKM episode 11. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your patron. Here we are with Kenny and Daniel. I am Marcos, and to start off, Kenny, you have some topics for us?
Yeah, actually, I do. Microsoft has unannounced exclusives for 2021.
Oh yeah.
Is it a new Banjo game?
Um,
Is it a new Banjo game?
Unfortunately, it doesn't say. It's from a EA developer, Dice.
Fuck.
Out of all people, like I don't know how legitimate this topic is, but I have the article here.
Does the source just say just trust me, bro?
Let's see. So it says right here, Microsoft has detailed titles coming exclusively to the Xbox family, because now it's a family, in 2021, such as, Halo Infinite, The Median, Scorn, Lake,
Oh,
The
scorn.
Last Stop, The Gunk, XO1, and Crossfire X. It says here in quotations. In 2021, creators around the world will tap deeper into the power of Xbox Series X and S, Jesus, and bring a massive variety of content to Xbox players. Microsoft wrote, "We anticipate this to be the most exciting generation yet for developers and players alike, with something for every kind of gamer." So we're talking like I don't know, rated E all the way up until M. While we have so much more in store, both from our talented partners and our creative teams at Microsoft, we figured that now would be a perfect time to take a closer look at the announced games that are launching as soon as console exclusives for the Xbox Series X and S and One. Um, Said, aside from the games that Microsoft mentioned in its post, it seems that the Redmond based company has even more exclusive titles that have yet to be announced. At least that's what EA Dice developer on Battlefield series Angel Kavasov said on the Reset Era forums in a thread dedicated to the Xbox exclusives arriving in 2021. Unfortunately,
Question.
there's no additional details were shared, but 2021 looks to be another promising year for the industry and its fans.
So now Xbox is really, and I mean really pushing all this stuff when it
Yeah.
comes to just buying companies, basically becoming the new.
Oh yeah. I
Let
mean,
me let me be careful with my words here. Basically becoming rather a bigger EA on this because EA did just that. Um, and obviously they lots of
Shut down a bunch of good
yes.
studios.
That's the thing with the studios, dude. We grew up with a whole bunch of games that
yes.
got really big, really popular, and then EA is like, "Yo, how about you work with us?" And that's fine and on. Then EA
Mm-hmm.
just restricts their creativity, to put it in layman's terms. And well, that ends up affecting the studio because it affects the game because it's just bad, and then they monetize it even more so because apparently $60 is not enough for them. So obviously this has all been said and repeated. It's over and over and over again. So I'm hesitant on Microsoft view on what they want from buying all this stuff because hopefully they don't make things like console exclusive, like, hey, I bought Bethesda, so now all but future Bethesda titles are going to be on Microsoft exclusive systems. So
So
NPC.
here's
right,
another
that's
thing
why I
that
said
Xbox
systems.
has going for it is Game Pass. Apparently, there's rumors floating around right now that they might be acquiring EA, or what is it? Not EA. Ubisoft Plus. So like
Ubisoft, okay.
I forgot that even
Uplay
existed.
Plus. That's what it's called. Where you
I
get like
hate
access
Ubisoft's
to like
multiplayer
all
thing,
the
dude.
Ubisoft games included into Game Pass. Apparently, when they added Rainbow Six Siege to Game Pass, I think Ubisoft noticed how profitable it was because there
Oh
was
yeah.
the player base went up. I think it was like 60,000 or something like that. It was some crazy big number. Um, that they saw revenue coming in, especially from the Xbox side, since they
Now,
pay per download.
no, think about this though. Think about this. You have a Game Pass, right?
Of course.
Let's just say you have it at $10.
Mm-hmm.
You have millions, tens of millions of subscribers.
Right.
Obviously that's a lot of moolah for Xbox or just Microsoft as in general. And obviously the other people who are involved, they have their games inside of Game Pass in that package, and publishers as well get a cut. And I was thinking for a while, well, how do these developers get their money? Well, the thing that I forgot about was in-game purchases, and a lot of people buy them. Like
Yeah.
like even Rainbow Six Siege, people buy whatever they can in there just to get certain packs, just to get certain stuff, and
Skins,
skins,
operators.
right? Season passes as well inside,
Mm-hmm.
including inside the game. So more players are accessing your title that they wouldn't have never done originally because they have a cheap way of accessing it, and they technically don't own the game. EA has seen record, and I mean record profit with FIFA, not because of sales alone, but because of microtransactions for buying card packs, which is basically just gambling.
Yeah.
It works. That model
I'm
works.
assuming that kind of like model is that like the progenitor of like the terminology I heard a lot from like the previous two generations saying that games are no longer a single product but now a service.
A live stream service.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But that's like
Like think of it
Sony's
like think of it like
Play,
this.
right? Sony Play or something like that.
What do you mean?
You mean PlayStation Now?
Was it called PlayStation Now? Though before they're doing that collection crap. Was it called PlayStation Now? I think it was called PlayStation.
I mean, PlayStation Now was that streaming service.
Exactly.
I'm more talking about like nowadays now studios are no longer thinking like, okay, we're trying to sell X amount of product. We're now trying to say, okay, we're trying to get into like the mobile market mentality. You got the whales, in the mobile gaming universe. Not everybody spends a gazillion dollars
Right.
in gacha games. It's one dude who funds like 50 guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to them, it makes more sense to release the game as a free title, so more people could have the bigger install base, and then they have that higher chances of saying, as I was saying, when you have the bigger install base, you have the higher chances of rolling that people are going to be paying more money for over the years to keep funding the production and more content for the game. I mean, you even saw like with the Battle Pass systems now in the Call of Duty games, where back then you had loot boxes and things like that. They reported that if you just simply sell a Battle Pass, it incentivized people to splurge even more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, take a look at Call of Duty and its profit earnings in the year 2020, and like. Just in general, like their games generated what was it, $2 billion in 1 year, based off of sales
Right.
alone. Just
Is it that the game that introduced the Battle Pass system, or was
Modern
no,
Warfare.
the first game I feel that introduced a Battle Pass system was Fortnite.
No. Oh, no, I
Call
was
of
more
Duty.
like talking about just
Oh,
Call of Duty,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Modern Warfare.
No, it was actually Black Ops 4 that introduced the Battle Pass.
They had?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing though with the battle passes. Since we're talking about Call of Duty, it gives you a benefit when it comes to buying it. So if you don't have the battle pass, you still gain EXP towards the battle pass. But
Yeah.
if you buy the battle pass, it gives you more items. All the items included in the battle pass. But if you don't have it, it gives you some items. But here's the thing though. Buying the battle pass gives you extra EXP. Some people view this as very, very important to have. It gives you
And buying progression.
It gives you 10% EXP boost. Now, in more recent events, a battle pass became paid to win with this new iteration of the merge between Cold War, Warzone, and Modern Warfare, where the season pass is connected. Your account, your Call of Duty Activision account, is connected into one.
Yeah.
By introducing at a higher level of the battle pass, where one of the more busted meta weapons in the game, the MAC-10, the MAC-10 blueprint that was in that battle pass
Oh yeah, it's
is
10%
actually
stronger, or 30%.
something like that. I heard somewhere between 10 to 30%,
Yeah.
and it was actually paid to win. I only got the battle pass because I had points left over from the previous battle pass, because it gives you free points to use as whatever you want it for. But I just got in. Why not? But holy crap, dude, the meta in Call of Duty was so damn busted because
Still
of
is.
well, the Mac 10.
So tremendously.
Mac
Right,
10
it
and
is,
the
but
DMR are just busted weapons.
right,
in
but
general.
even with the Mac 10 being busted, they give you a blueprint that was even more busted. So I could see why people were upset about that. So
course.
just having the blueprint name, you can change the attachments and everything. It's still busted, but you could see that this kind of live stream servicing is going to be the future model of most
Video
AAA games
Yep.
because it
And
it
where
works.
where do you guys draw the line on that kind of stuff? Because the only example I could think of where I have a problem where I draw the line when you are given an inherent benefit over
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like, okay, I draw the line at that. If it's just purely cosmetic and nothing more, I'm indifferent towards it. I remember some guy, Matt Season Show. He does like a bunch of WoW content. I have no interest in World of Warcraft, not even playing it, but I could watch this guy's content for hours on end, right?
Yeah.
And he draws a line because I don't know if you remember when World of Warcraft introduced the WoW token. The WoW token was an item that you could use it to sell it for gold, or you could buy it for game time, or you could buy the WoW token through the auction house to get more game time, essentially, right? But of course, it was a lot of gold, so you have to like farm a lot to get the money. And he draws the line where it's like he doesn't like it that you buy character level ups and progression and things like that, because I think that's a bad sign of a game. It's like if you are forcing people to pay for progression, that means you failed as an RPG to incentivize people to grow. The grind is supposed to be fun, or at least in my opinion should be worth fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? And WoW's not the only one. Even my favorite Final Fantasy 14 does that. You could buy progression, you could buy level skips and time and grind skips if you want to. And I still think that that's true. I think that you should get your money's worth and learn to play these classes and jobs, and just buying the progression, I feel like that it de-incentivizes you to even give the game out a try, you know?
Well, given my line, where you said where do you draw the line with these kind of live services, where you have to pay into the whole, hey, if you get this, you get an advantage. Yeah, I don't like that. But here's the thing, though: if it's purely cosmetic, I'm cool with it.
Yep.
However, in certain game genres, cosmetics can be, it's rare, very advantageous. So a good example is, since we were just talking about Call of Duty, is I think it was season 5 where they introduced a new operator, a female operator who wears a bulletproof
Farrah.
mask.
Oh,
And-
Rose.
Yeah, whatever her name is. Once you
From Shadow Company, right?
yeah, from Shadow Company. Once you complete
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the Battle Pass at level 100, you unlock a skin of her where she's completely black. I kid you not, she camouflages so damn well with a lot of things, except snow. And
I've seen the opposite happen where some guy camouflaged with the Jigsaw costume.
right, but the Jigsaw costume, given black and white, like even in PUBG, the best car to drive around was a police car because of how it's decorated. If you hid yourself in shrubs, you can camouflage better than any other car, basically because of how it was, just because it was black and white.
Right.
But yes, but she's all black. Not, she's gray, I guess. It's gray, but either way, you could stand in the corner where there's barely any light, and unless you can luckily just see her and detect that she's there, you can kill her. If not, you just walk on past by her. You see, that's a cosmetic, but that cosmetic can be advantageous if you use it in the right scenario. But that's where I draw the line. You know, cosmetics only. I think the game, at least with Call of Duty, it gives you EXP tokens for both your weapon and your character, which I think is fine as well. It doesn't really break the game all that much, except now with Cold War, if you have a gun with the higher level attachments, that gun is better. That gun is better. So it's a lot of give and take, but yeah, mostly cosmetic is what I want. Nothing too game breaking, nothing too game changing.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's if that incentivizes people to just to go for cosmetics, and it's it really is whatever.
Right. So Kenny, tell me more about these games coming out, because I thought, is Microsoft following that plan where they said they're not releasing any exclusives for the first 2 years of the Series X, or are they?
So like, I mean, it's exclusive to the Xbox platform. It's just not exclusive to the
That's
Xbox
what I mean. Yeah.
Series X. I mean, the first one that I see is coming out is it's coming out on the 28th. It's Median. The Median. It's like a paranormal spiritual game where it has the screen cut in two, and you can see two different dimensions.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Yeah. So there's actually I know I sent you guys a link. I think it was that first link that I had sent you that was talking about, you know, the exclusives. If you scroll down on that, it'll have like a live trailer, and
I think I've seen like like footage of the
game.
game.
Looks great. The game looks great. Apparently, I think the developers were saying that they're not going to release it for the Xbox One because the Xbox One cannot handle it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what Spectre was talking about. Was just like it's gonna not be Series X exclusive. It's gonna be Xbox platform exclusive.
Exactly.
So that's why more people are saying like, well, there's no reason to buy a Series X right now because you.
Well, if you really look at it, I mean,
PC.
there's never any reason to buy an Xbox after they announced that all their Xbox exclusives are coming out on PC.
Pretty much.
Because then you might as well just get the PC, get the ultimate experience. But on the other hand, you know, even though PC is somewhat plug and play, it comes with its issues where, let's say you're starting up a game and now it says dev error this or something error that or it crashes out.
I just got that recently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes PC ports are weird.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, like, it's either a PC port is good or it's not. And it's up to the developer to drop a...
Well, consoles could just have them just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
But it's farther and few in between. Like, the only thing I can think of right now, funny enough, is Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk was built to be optimized on PC,
on PC
though.
first, exactly, and that's the thing. Like now, there's games that are coming out that were for PC first that are coming out on Xbox, like Microsoft Flight Simulator. That was never intended to come out on console. Heck, we never saw any.
I always
Flight
wondered
Simulator
that's
game
more
on console.
But that's the thing, though. With Flight Simulator, it's always been a niche platform. You know, it makes sense to be like on a PC, not just from a technical standpoint, but just like the ecosystem. Okay, you know, flight sim games.
But here's the thing: a lot of people prefer flying planes on their PC with a controller. It's just easier to fly with. Either that, or they get get, the realistic setup.
Like a whole test, I have one of those, but I'm just saying, like I'm talking about from like the early '90s. I'm talking about like '90s flight sim games were popular on PCs, and that was like the platform to play it. If you ever met a motherfucker who plays flight sim games, they will be like, "Oh yeah, I was from the '90s. I played a shit ton of flight sims from the '90s." You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. Like, do console flight sim games sell as well, or is that like a platform that?
Well,
I think there's a potential.
Pardon the pun, soars.
I think there's a potential to introduce new people to flight sims, especially on console, because some people they feel intimidated about building a PC, or they feel it's too much money. Controller or consoles are more of a entry level sort of deal where you pay this much to be on the platform, you pay this much to be in the service. And then, if you wanted the extra niceties, you get Game Pass Ultimate, pay $15 a month, and you get all your games day and date. They come out on Game Pass Ultimate and your Xbox Live Gold. And then, you got the added benefit of having 100+ games without having to pay for them. And
not have to pay for online.
And you don't have to
on
pay
PC.
You don't have to pay for a $3,000 computer to play the games that you want visually the way that you want them to look. If you can just pop in a disc,
but you won't get that same. You won't get the same visual fidelity on the
level
console
of
either.
Personalization, absolutely. But with games coming out,
more options,
games coming out more and more, like PC games, like on Cold War on Xbox, you have a FOV slider, you have a toggle for ray tracing, so you can have ray tracing or you can turn it off. If you enable it, it's going to drop it down to 60 frames. If you disable it, you can have the 120 frames mode. Like it's getting wider as far as personalization goes. It's more PC like,
but it's nowhere going to be as
no, because it's a controlled OS. at the end of the day.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you're
Right.
working with a singular hardware. I mean, it's easier to produce to because there's no variances. There might be
Well,
slight
look, a
variance.
console, much like a phone, is
Exactly.
just a computer.
Yep.
It's a computer.
Yep.
It's just different. It's just how it's modeled. The
It's
thing
cheaper.
is,
It's just built
the
different.
thing
It's
is, when it
mass-produced.
comes to PC, I could see the argument for, hey, I don't know much about personalized computers, and it's just the idea of not knowing is what makes it seem like, oh damn, I kind of don't want to risk it or
Yeah.
anything, and it makes sense. It does make sense, and obviously getting a nice, comfortable build, something that you would like to have, which people a lot don't focus when it comes to newcomers. They don't know about future proofing. That hey, if you spend $800, this will be just fine for games
now.
that will come out 8 years from now, and you'll be good. You'll be good. You'll have the same console will still be out, but your PC can run the same game but better when it comes out because it's more optimized. So I get it. The thing is that especially with Xbox, I don't really turn on mine much. But if I'm gonna get everything on Game Pass on PC, not paying for gold unless I'm in the family plan, I don't really see the point.
Yeah. You know what? Well, before we deviate back into the PC thing, I've been hearing a lot of rumblings lately that Microsoft might be considering getting rid of Xbox Gold, and I think it makes sense because, like, let's think of it like this: if Microsoft, because Game Pass Ultimate comes with Gold, right?
So here's the thing
If you
about
get it,
that.
yeah.
Yes. The if you get Game Pass Ultimate, it does come with gold, but they're getting rid of Xbox Silver and replacing it as gold, so people can play online.
I mean, like, what was the point of getting Xbox Silver at that
It's
point
just-
if you can't play online?
I mean, technically, you could play the free games online, or watch Netflix, and it's just
Oh yeah, because they used to charge you money to be able to use Netflix on the
which they
360. I
fixed that
remember,
on the Xbox One.
which is really stupid. They shouldn't have done in the first place, but whatever.
Yeah,
Agreed.
but it's
Well, then
just-
again, they did mess up a lot of things when it comes to certain stuff. Like, hey, if you want an Xbox One, you have to connect it to the Kinect, which
Yeah.
obviously
Always have to be online.
Yeah.
Use games.
The
Oh man,
what
that
was
was
it, DMR, DVRs or whatever.
always on, always online DVR, always online DMR.
I love it how people complain
DMR.
about that.
DRM.
That's what it was.
I love it how people complain about that your connected's always on, always connected to the
But
internet,
you're always
but
going to
people
be
don't.
always connected on the internet. So
But here's the thing, though. Everyone's phone is like that, and people don't
Exactly.
complain about that. So I mean, who cares, dude? You're
Yeah, but I mean, like, not everyone has good internet.
this is true, but if you can just connect to the internet, show that you're online. I mean, now Xbox is coming out with an update here real soon for like the Omega Insider program, like a subset of them. That how Windows updates work, right? Where it's like bits and pieces that come out for it. So you have like security update, then later on you'll have like a whole OS update, then later on you'll have like I don't know, a store update or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, it's all pulled up.
Now what they're doing is they're going to be doing the same thing for consoles. So they can, instead of releasing a big OS update every month, they'll probably streamline it to like every week or every 2 weeks. They'll come out with little bits and pieces of updates instead of waiting for a whole OS update. So, which is
Okay.
neat.
Okay.
It'll-
I
But-
like certain exclusivities, and I like how marketing, when it comes to marketing,
Mhm.
you want to buy developers and just publishers want to make sure that you go to them because they have the goods, much like how hey McDonald's tries to offer certain deals, certain offers, discounts, or get certain items together and it'll get this reduced price, which will which will make other fast food restaurants think about, hey, maybe I can do that as well.
Right.
The thing is that when it comes to exclusives that are now, when it comes to the topic of exclusivity, obviously Bethesda games have been out for PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. But given how
And Switch.
and Switch. So given how that Microsoft is buying all these companies here, they say, hey, just you're with us now. Does that mean that me getting used to playing Doom and Doom Eternal on the PlayStation. When they release the new Doom game, is it going to be a Microsoft exclusive, where I can't play it on my PlayStation? I have to play it on either a PC or on an Xbox. These are the questions that am wondering about the future of Microsoft's contracts with certain companies. Where like, yeah, we'll sign up with you, but does it mean exclusivity? I feel like yes, but I wonder. I really wonder about that.
So I feel with the Bethesda thing, Phil Spencer said that he was gonna do case by case basis. I think what's happening is any business that Bethesda has been doing normally since prior of the purchase, they're gonna hold true to those contracts, and then anything after that,
which they are doing for one of their exclusive
Yeah,
games that is getting PlayStation content.
There's also
Ghost.
so there's like Deathloop, and then now there's some sort of Nintendo one that they're coming out with. I'm not exactly sure what the name is, but that one's supposed to be getting a the case by case scenario that they're releasing normally on Nintendo. Or I think it was the Indiana Jones one that's being rumored. It might be coming out on Game Pass and $70 on other consoles, aka the.
Wait, who's developing it? Bethesda or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft.
Bethesda.
Okay, Bethesda's.
Oh,
Okay.
I heard Ubisoft. Well, oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
speaking about exclusivity, Disney no longer is just exclusive to just EA. Disney.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, because LucasArts is back.
Okay.
Well, no, LucasArts has always been there.
Always been
It's just EA was the publisher that had the exclusive rights to just Star Wars.
Games, yeah.
So now,
Yes, yeah. I know that, but I mean, like, generally speaking, LucasArts, the game studio, is back.
yeah, generally
So they
back
can
and
make
forth.
other
Right.
Lucas products.
So now it's their contract is up in 2023. Disney is not going to renew it. I'm pretty sure that's already been made clear. So that gave so now Ubisoft is developing their own game. The question around that is, but it's 2021. What do you mean Ubisoft is producing a game? Wouldn't that mean that it's against the exclusivity contract? Well, not necessarily, because if the game takes 4 years to develop, it's going to be coming out in 2025. So it's way beyond the exclusivity expiration date. So it's good to see that we're going to see a lot more from the Star Wars series. Hopefully we can see a little bit more leniency when it comes to certain projects that Disney has been doing recently, like with comics, with shows, how successful,
and with games, and that's another.
Yeah, with games.
That's the thing, though. With Disney, it's going to be much more stricter, because to them, like, the rule of thumb is that all Disney-related Star Wars products from here on out is canon. Is the main. They can't do the exclusive, extended universe excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though. Like, look, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed was one of the best just additions to Star Wars. It was just the story, the characters, things that happened in the universe, how it expanded it. Heck, ironically enough, Darth Vader in the series, spoiler alert for a game that's a decade old already, like more than a decade old, Darth Vader ended up creating the rebellion. That's just irony. He ended up giving orders to Starkiller, which is the main character, Galen Merrick, to his Darth Vader's apprentice, saying, "Hey, you need to go make a rebellion." And this rebellion ended up defeating both. Consequently, they ended up defeating both Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. But stuff like that, Disney's like, no, we don't want that expanded universe nonsense. We're gonna do our own thing. So I just feel like it's like, well, damn, that sucks. So, and even the Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2 ended up in a cliffhanger.
Okay, but
and
hang on.
Why
but we forgot about Vader Immortal. What about that game?
What, the VR game?
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, the
I
VR
like it.
games. Like,
I've only played the first episode.
Those were made by Oculus, weren't they?
I'm not sure.
But it's approved by
Exactly.
Disney.
Yeah. Look, publisher Disney Electronics.
So by that logic, Star Wars Pinball is canon.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn, dude.
But
You
Jedi
really got
Fallen
it there.
Order, like Jedi Fallen Order, was not a bad game.
No,
any means.
actually,
That's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's canon.
but that was a really good game. Like the game came out really well. It was
Yeah,
well received.
I know what you mean, Kenny.
Even the bad story in Battlefront 2, EA's
yeah.
Battlefront 2
But the
was
game was
canon.
Still, yeah, but the game was
It,
still.
it's canon, but it's just really bad story. Like what? Like
after
the
they
premise of it.
After they fixed like the whole star card crap, the game was.
Well, that's the multiplayer.
better.
That's the multiplayer. I'm talking about just campaign and the story. Since we're talking about story,
I couldn't get into it, dude. I couldn't get into it. The game.
it was just.
I never even tried it.
It was just Obviously, the Mandalorian's going crazy of how much hype it's getting.
There might make a game for that.
And
hey, hey man, another Star Wars bounty hunter game? Absolutely.
well, look. Here's the thing, though.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, though. I think Disney finally admitted that Kathleen Kennedy messed up,
Yeah.
and so consequently, they just said, "Yeah, we messed up."
Make Dave the president.
So here's the thing, though. Merch for Star Wars is only getting like we're talking about figurines, action figures, which is the thing that a lot of people collected, people who are diehard fans of Star Wars. But
Fun fact: the sales of the figures for Episode 1 eclipsed the film revenue.
Episode 1, what do you mean?
Yeah, I was watching a short documentary about like 20 years after Episode 1 came out, and people were in lines, like in droves,
Right.
like buying all the Darth Maul.
Right, but here's the thing, though.
figures.
Here's the thing.
And I'm thinking, like, damn,
Merchandise
they
sells.
don't know what they're getting into.
But that's the problem with the sequels. The sequels merch did not sell.
Yeah.
Disney lost.
But what
money.
about Baby Yoda?
No,
Everyone wanted to
hold
buy
up.
Baby
I
Yoda.
just said sequels. All I said was the trilogy sequels, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, I know.
Mandalorian merch blew up.
Yeah.
Rogue One's merch
because
blew
of the
up.
child. Yeah.
Rogue One's merch blew up. Solo, a Star Wars story merch, was flat.
Yeah.
But these good, even the comics blew up because they're good products. So obviously, stuff like that, where exclusivity is no longer a thing when it comes to games now. Obviously, if it's done in the proper direction, hopefully it's done. It's done well. Speaking about exclusivities, back to my argument about, hey, we used to be exclusive. We used to be for all platforms. Now we're exclusive. Now I'm glad that it's not the case with Star Wars games, where now we can see different titles now. But games like From Software, where they put it on all platforms, but then out of nowhere they say, hey, we're only going to put this game in PlayStation, which is Bloodborne. Right. So
yeah, well, that's because the IP itself is owned by Sony.
Right.
That's the thing about like with Demon Souls as well, is that while the Souls, like Dark Souls, was meant to be like multi-plat from the start, Demon Souls was like this super niche. Like Sony didn't think it was going to be like a major success. That's why Sony didn't publish the game. It was Atlas who did it. Atlas saw the potential of that game, but they still own the IP.
Right. But the same goes for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That was only an Xbox and PC.
Sekiro?
Yeah. I didn't
That's
come
on
out.
PlayStation.
I didn't come out on
So
PlayStation, did it?
Yeah.
Did it
Yes,
have
I
a
have
year
it.
exclusive on?
No,
Oh.
it came out the same
No.
day.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was an exclusive on Xbox.
No. There's no exclusive From Software games on Xbox or PC.
Right. So talking
so far.
about like
So Jet Set Radio Future is the best Japanese Xbox
Yes.
exclusive. Let's all
Okay.
agree on that.
No.
Hydro Thunder. Got it.
Banjo.
Hydro Thunder's pretty.
Banjo.
What about Space Channel 5?
Conquer.
Oh, that's it's not.
So Respawn.
Well, it's rare.
Respawn Entertainment,
Yeah, it's rare.
Made a VR game.
Metal. Yeah, I heard the new Medal of Honor game sucked.
Really? I mean, I'm looking at the
I have-
ratings right now. It has a 4 stars out of 5. A lot of people.
On the Oculus
Yeah,
store.
I'm looking. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the few places that you can buy that.
Just use the general rule.
right.
You take the scores from the actual reviewers and scores from the users. You put them together. Take the average.
Oh, but
That's
this
what
is
you
just, This is from people that bought the game and played it.
There you go.
This
Yeah.
is straight up just from people that.
I've only heard that the game was short. That's from what I've heard.
But
or
it
something
has
about, like,
multiplayer.
I don't
so,
know.
Like, here's the thing: it's a first person game. Has multiplayer. Has,
May I recommend you Pavlov?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's true. But dude, you can build a whole computer in Pavlov.
Immersion. Hey man, I don't play Counter-Strike often, so when I had to try to plant the bomb on site, I thought you just throw the bomb on the floor. Like, no, you have to push the combination. What's the fucking combination, asshole? I don't know the goddamn code. And when you try to put codes in a VR game, it is way worse because it's not. I don't have the Valve Index. I'm not rolling in the Gucci yet. But when I start getting the sponsors, we'll get to there. It's really difficult when you try to push your finger down to the button and you have this big ass ring on your controller and you're trying to hit like the number 5 key and you hit 8 by mistake, so you have to start all over again.
Daniel confirmed virgin.
The fuck?
Can't stick your finger in a ring, dog. Come on, man. Come.
Well, as soon as they invent the VR cock ring, I'll let you know.
Damn. Then you're really in the
Because that shit is precise.
Yo, honestly, seeing how popular VR games are, and how people are just, I want to say, addicted to certain adult products. Like, I'm sure someone's gonna release out there. It's like, hey,
They already have.
how about we
Have you been to certain VR chat
no.
worlds?
I'm talking about where it activates certain senses, specifically touch.
Oh yeah, there's already shit
No,
for that.
I know.
Yeah, they
Wait,
already
hold
do
up.
that.
I'm not talking about product itself. I'm talking about software where you could play the game and it will help you do what you want to do, which is basically get off. The market's there, obviously. 30%
Did
of the
you
internet
hear
is porn.
about the dude who hacked all the chastity belts?
No.
Uh,
What?
I
This is
think
some
so.
Deus Ex
I
level
think
shit
so.
here, guys.
I think I heard something like that.
All I could think is just the Deus Ex theme like playing in the background as I was reading the article.
Dog, every time I play Deus Ex,
Human Revolution.
every time Deus Ex comes to my mind, I always think about one phrase: I didn't ask for this. So you
Yeah, pretty
imagine
much.
that happening.
So
and
like
then
in
you
the
just-
in the beginning of the game, in the beginning of the first game, when they ask you like which one do you want, the crossbow, the gun, this and that, and most people pick the crossbows. Like sometimes you need the silent takedown. Now the fourth option is hacking the chastity belts.
Jesus
Sometimes
Christ.
you just gotta squeeze some nuts.
Dude, honestly, it's if that's I'm more concerned about pacemakers, dude, because pacemakers are such an easy thing to tap into, like surprisingly.
Don't. We don't condone tapping into anybody's.
We do not condone hacking of pacemakers. Sorry, Grandma.
Dog, you're dead if you hack a pacemaker. What do you mean? But look, all I'm saying is
yeah,
this.
no
All I'm saying is this.
Hey, I play Metal Gear Solid 2. When I had to go find Ames, I gotta take out the microphone, and then I gotta hear his fucking pacemaker. I played it. I know what's going on.
Look, people just. What was it? How
Level shit. You want your,
what was it
your
during the
cyber
whole
game? No problem.
subscribe to the whole PewDiePie thing, where when this one dude sent out a what was it, a fax to all unblocked printers because people didn't set up their
VPN?
printers to be secure.
Oh.
No, not a VPN. No.
Oh, like a Wi-Fi password.
No, yeah, I think something like that, where your computer is supposed to be connected to a secured network, and it's something simple, not that hard to do at all. Even though printers are annoying to deal with, do this security step. It's not that hard. So this guy sent out throughout the U.S. basically unprotected printers on the subscribe to PewDiePie, and
Nice.
people were complaining about, oh, it's a hack attack, about cyber terrorism, stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I mean,
What
I
did
can
it send out?
see the concern, but you you gotta put some effort behind your protection if you're so concerned about it. But yeah, it's
Hey man, like how we lock doors, we gotta lock our Wi-Fi passwords and shit.
I mean, I've been to neighborhoods where people don't even care about locking their doors because it's whatever.
Like the 50s.
No, like in mostly white areas.
So,
Hey man.
did you guys hear about
Yeah, I
Super
get-
Mario 3D World's Switch?
Hey, I'm hyped for that.
Yo,
Did
dude.
you
I'm
see the
really
new
hyped.
Switch
I
that's coming out with it alongside.
New Switch.
Yeah,
No, I
it-
didn't see it.
Awesome.
not gonna lie.
It looks awesome.
It looks alright.
It's,
What?
it's
It
looks
all
alright, I'm
red. I mean, even the console itself is red.
Yeah.
But
true,
is it just a
the,
design? Is it just the design?
I'm not sure if there's any like.
Yeah.
It doesn't come with the game
No,
though, right? It's
It's just a
the
design. It's the new Nintendo Switch design for Mario. Oops. Yeah, for Super Mario fans. It's really it. It's not a new
Yeah, but
console.
It's not a bundle. It's just it's just a special
Yeah, it's
edition.
a special edition, exactly. But it comes with the carrying case. It comes with like everything else that comes in the box with the Switch. But the Switch is red. The dock is red. Then you have the grips, which are or the grip, the Joy-Con
Blue.
grip, which is blue, and then like the
It's
little.
just a design.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just a
nice
design.
though, but it looks good.
It looks
It looks
nice.
good.
It's a nice looking design. My coworker got the Animal Crossing Switch the Switch
I think
bundle.
this is like the
Shout out to
third
Sally,
time.
you the
This is the
OG.
third time you said that on here.
Um, I did, but she's the only one who listens, so I feel like I should commend her for waiting for a long time to finally get it. But yeah, I mean, I still have my good old Switch from December of 2017. So, and now there's like the rumors about the Switch Pro model being a thing, and
I wonder about that.
I don't know about
You,
that.
you think for the Switch Pro, would you think would be somewhat like the opposite of a Switch Lite? Because the Switch Lite you can't dock it,
No.
but you could keep it. It's meant to be portable.
I think the
So-
Switch Pro is going to be another handheld with updated
I
specs.
okay, so obviously the handheld mechanic works. Nintendo's known this because
Right.
the Game Boy, then the Nintendo DS, right? They know it works. That's why the Wii U.
They would never make a dock only Switch. That's what I'm saying.
Right, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you think maybe the Switch Pro will just be a thicker, maybe a bigger Switch that people really, really want, and it's bigger, not so much for you to get a bigger screen, but so they can fit more goodies inside to make it more,
Powerful.
the fidelity on it to be more powerful, to have better graphics, to have better frame rate, you know?
The rumor has it right now. Obviously, Nvidia is working on better mobile chips and stuff like that. Did they come with the what was the original the Tegra X1? I think they came out now with
Tegra
but now they
X1.
have like a Tegra X2 or 3. I'm not sure about that, but I know that they're coming out with more. They're coming out with like better mobile chips. Anyways, they're gonna try and implement like DLSS with the new Switch, and they're also going to do like the handheld version of it's gonna be 1080p, and then when it's docked, it'll stream up to 4K.
Yeah, maybe an upscaler or something like that, where the
But it's
Switch
all going to be
dock will have
controlled
something.
by DLSS, which we all know is a very well optimized thing at this point because they have DLSS 2.0, and a lot of games are using it, including Black Ops
And Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch was added. I don't know if you guys saw the NVIDIA Connect. I was
No.
hella blue balled out. Long story short, they just talked about like, look, all these people got these new RTX cards. That's why we're releasing the new RTX 3060. It's going to be stronger than your PlayStation 5, and we're also releasing new laptops and blah 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 blah. But I just thought it was funny because I was just curious about watching the new FNAF footage, and it's literally more panning shots of the setting, and I was like. You know the scene in SpongeBob where Patchy the pirate was like finally finds the lost SpongeBob episode, and it's just a walking animation.
Okay.
You know what episode I'm
The
talking
one
about?
where he's walking all crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's just
the
like, I found the
that's
lost
Patchy the
SpongeBob
Pirate
episode.
special where he found the secret episode of SpongeBob, and it turned out to be just that.
Yeah, and it's just SpongeBob doing a stupid walking animation,
But
and
yeah,
then it ends with him saying, "That's
then
it."
he ran away all sad, but it turned out to be more.
Yeah, but he still like went on a fucking riot and like took everything down. It's like, I hate you, SpongeBob. I hate you. But it's just I like the line where he just says, "That's it. That was me." Because I was looking forward to be like, oh, I hope they show some gameplay footage, and it's like, nope, more panning shots.
Yeah.
But the game looks pretty. I'll give him
look.
that. It looks really fucking
So
pretty.
they are
Look,
coming
all
out
I'm
with
saying
a
is-
Tegra 3 mobile chip, which is a quad core mobile chip coming to phones and tablets.
Look, all I know is that if the Switch Pro is going to, I wonder how they're going to market it. Obviously, the Switch was a huge success,
Oh yeah.
very innovative. I want to know how how many PlayStation had their own portable console. It was, but they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they really screwed up the Vita. They really did.
Well, here's an issue with the Vita. There was no clickable analog sticks. They decided to implement this back touch screen, which nobody really liked, and it made it uncomfortable to hold the console itself. And then let's see what else.
proprietary memory cards that were, of course,
overly priced because of the fact that they decided that they were going to make proprietary memory cards in the first place, and there was no market.
Meanwhile,
control.
Nintendo lets you use any fucking and Nintendo meanwhile lets you use any goddamn SD card you want.
And then, it was pretty much the same price as the Switch, and the Switch has more capability than the Vita did when that came out. Granted, that came out in 2011. I do think it was ahead of its time, but at the same time, it was still a very limited console, especially for the graphics that they were trying to put on there. Like Borderlands 2 ran like crap on that thing.
Yeah, I remember someone was doing a comparison between that versus streaming it over the NVIDIA Shield portable at the time.
Oh yeah.
And someone figured out how to use like cell phone towers in order to stream Borderlands, because you're playing the PC version.
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the only plus sides to the Vita was the stream play. But then again, like I said, the issues with that console were the back touch. There was no trigger buttons. You had to use L and R. That's all they had. So it was more like a PSP Plus than it was a PS Vita.
It is funny though, because when you go to Japan, like the Vita is still technically being supported. Like it's like actively being marketed.
Which is crazy to think how they haven't came out. I mean, there's been rumors saying that they might come out with it's called the PlayStation or the PSP 5G.
I don't know, man. I don't know about Sony ever like releasing like portable systems, because like someone was bringing this up where it's like if it had it between Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, if one of them had to leave the video game industry, which would last forever, it's simply Microsoft. Microsoft has way more feet into more different pools of water.
But so does Sony.
Between their Office suite, operating systems, let's see, multiple companies they own, business ventures and things like that. So Microsoft could flop a bunch of times. They're not a Sega situation, you know what I'm saying? I mean, with Sony, no one buys like their phones. Remember the PlayStation phone at one point?
They're still making their Xperia phones or their whatever they're called now. I can't even think of the name, but they're still coming out with those phones. They're
that means people are buying them, true, and but I mean, like
they
that's
have they have their televisions, they have their sound bars.
They have Sony Music and Sony Music Entertainment.
They have their
music
division.
I guess that's more of a subsidiary.
They have now they're coming out with a car concept. Yeah, so like they have hands in a lot of places. It's not like they don't. It's just they're not as big as.
But I think Microsoft has way more hands.
Yeah,
they got Bill Gates, so that's all they need. They just need a really white, powerful, rich white dude.
Wait a minute.
Kenny wants a sugar daddy.
Yep. But here's the thing, though. Okay, I just want to see more. I don't care about consoles. I just want a big multiplayer games just to continue being cross-platform, much like with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's mainly the big thing, because honestly, that would obviously save money for a lot of people. But imagine getting a game on the Game Pass which offers cross-platform, and therefore you're saving money because of you're getting on the Game Pass. You're saving money. Let's just say you're on PC because you're not paying for online subscriptions, which will allow you to play that game. So it's the incentive there is great, and it's just user friendly. That's all I really care about. I'm not sure what certain contracts, certain developers, certain publishers have with certain consoles, console developers. Obviously, we know with Call of Duty, PlayStation asks that, hey, you got to give us a little more, just something a little more that you can work, so we could work with. Obviously, with Call of Duty, Modern Warfare had the survival, which was whatever. Cold War has a specific zombies mode, which is Onslaught, which I enjoyed. It was quite nice, kind of sweaty, but it's more skill based more than anything. But it's not really worth just getting the PlayStation just for that exclusive.
Right.
So
no, absolutely.
All I'm saying is that I get why they would want to make these exclusivity
well,
things.
they have to, because like
it
at
makes
that
sense,
point,
though.
like
it makes sense.
Because if it all boils down to like, well, which performance does it matter? I'm like, well, if you cared about performance, you wouldn't be picking these games up on a PC in the first place.
Right.
That's not even there. So what Microsoft and Sony have to do is either make exclusive content, hand out personal things, and this is something that even from the PS3 days, like well, Mafia 2, for example, they gave out a lot of DLC for free on the PlayStation 3, and then you had to pay for it separately when you wanted to get it on Xbox and PC. But that's just how things are. Like at the end of the day, companies have to really like, okay, which box are you going to play the same game on? Because not many people buy the same game, especially because how many people will buy a game on Xbox and PS4 and then they also buy it on the Switch?
Kenny?
I do. I do that all the time.
I do that too. And so like here's the thing.
But do you buy the
Switch
game on both
version.
PlayStation and
You play the Switch version because it's portable. You don't play it because it has the nicest graphics.
Right.
It runs the best.
No.
You play it because it's convenient.
You want the game portably.
It's convenient. That's why you play it.
Yeah. Right. I mean, like I'm just as that. Like right now, I just bought Scott Pilgrim versus the World Day 1 on PC, and I also pre-ordered a limited run copy physically for the Switch because I want to have that game physically as well, and I want to have it on the Switch as well.
So,
Shrimp.
Because that's just
here's some little fun facts about the Tegra X1. So they have the Tegra X1 and they have the Tegra X1 Plus, which I think was in the second iteration of the Switch. Which is why they were able to get like faster clocks and stuff like that. It's saying
and that's why they could get
like
more
the
Galaxy
2019 model that came out. It's the model number is T214. The old one was T10 or T210, and that was used on the 2017 Nintendo Switch. So I have a feeling because they have the Tegra X2, which came out. It doesn't even say it when it came out, but it says it's Pascal based, so we're talking, GTX 10 series. But, if they're introducing DLSS and all that, there's this other processor called Xavier that's coming out, and it's supposed to be, after Professor X, the name, of course. It says availability has been from March, and they have some pretty decent cores. So they have the top of the tier model, which is it's called T194. It has 8 cores and can boost up to 2.26 gigahertz. Then you have the ones under it. It's a 15-watt processor. It can be 2, 4, or 6 cores up to 1.4 gigahertz. Hex and quad core and 1.9 if it's dual core. And then you have the 10-watt version of the NX, which is 2 or 4. And 1.2 for quad core and 1.5 for dual core. Anyways, the one special thing about this is that it has T-flops. Or T-ops. T-ops. DL. So DL is for like the deep learning sort of deal where they kind of like how they have on the graphics cards where you have your Ray cores and all that crap. Well, I think they'll either be putting that processor in the Pro if they do come out with a Pro. Obviously, this is all speculation. Or Orin, which they're sampling now in 2021, which would probably line up with the availability of 2022 when they might possibly come out with a Pro version in the next year. And it's based off of Ampere, which is obviously the 3000 series GPUs from NVIDIA.
So basically, we need to get another gaming phone.
Basically,
I wonder about that.
We're getting a gaming phone cram-packed into a Switch handheld and put onto a dock, or played.
Watch. Next thing, look, the next Switch is gonna be like so.
And
It's gonna be the Switch merged with the DS, where it's got a protective cover, and then you flip it open.
Oh, God.
Oh, look at that! You got 2 screens.
or it's going to be called the new Nintendo Switch.
Dude, all I know is that
Or it's going to be called switching it up.
God.
switch it. Damn, dude, got him.
So it's saying right here. It's saying all these are based off of ARM. RIP ARM, by the way, because it was bought by Apple. The model number is called T234. The processor is called the Cortex A78AE, or codename Hercules. Core count is 12 cores. Doesn't have any frequency yet. The microarchitecture is Ampere, which we all know what Ampere is. They don't have a frequency. They don't have G-flops. There's two different G-flops. There's G-flops FP32, FP16. Anyways, there's DDR5. They don't know the amount. Bus width is a possible 256-bit bus width. Bandwidth is at 200 gigabytes. And it says 2020 is going to be the availability, or 2022 is the availability, sampling in 2021. So I feel Nintendo is going to wait until 2022 to come out with their new console, if they do.
So so obviously the Switch's memory was an issue. That's one thing I could point out, was the memory.
Oh yeah,
the internal memory.
Yeah. Up it to 256 gigabytes at least.
Obviously, the graphic fidelity never really bothered me if a game had bad graphics. I never really cared for it. I know some people were a stickler for that.
Have poor optimization, like Bulletstorm. I played Bulletstorm on the Switch. It runs at 20 frames almost the entire time.
Oof.
Bulletstorm, I mean, if you want to play on the Switch, but like, why?
Because it's playing a console game on a portable console.
I get it, but it's...
I mean, when you say it like that in that sentence, you have to like compromise a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the game came out in 2011. We're talking about
right.
That came
That's
out
what I'm saying.
2017.
Why would you play a... That's what I'm saying. It's a 2011 game. I get that it's all fun and games, but I don't know.
Well, it was the
wouldn't
Duke
get
Nukem
that
one.
game.
You get to play as Duke Nukem during the campaign, and you get all his lines too.
I don't care about
Rest in
that.
peace, Duke Nukem.
I don't care about that. Duke forever got wrecked.
Fun fact: did you know that Duke Nukem's voice actor voiced Big the Cat?
Yes.
I sleep well every night knowing.
What do you think Why do you think I say Sonic Adventures 1's fishing minigame is probably one of the best features of it? Because holy crap, it takes skill, and obviously, Big the Chad is just pure raw sexual energy with the amount of testosterone.
Motherfucker fought Chaos 4 with a goddamn fishing rod.
That's what I'm saying. No,
None
Chaos
of the
4.
other
No. He fought Chaos 6.
Chaos 6. Yeah.
He was almost perfect Chaos. Chaos 4 was kicking the crap out of Knuckles, dude. And no, Sonic.
Here you go, Knuckles. I weakened the butt for you.
No, it was Sonic. He was getting... Listen, the Big the Chad just casually was like, all right, here I am in the Egg Fleet. How did I get into this flying ship? Who cares? But all I'm here is, with a fishing rod, I'm gonna kill this thing, and I'm gonna peace out.
I got elevator music playing in my head.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's broken. But Big the Cat...
And that's why Sonic Adventure 1 is the better game.
Look, all I'm looking forward is when it comes to the Switch is I just want Nintendo to really stop being so, what's the word, stingy on a lot of things.
Yes.
I'm not talking about like the Melee community. I'm not talking about that. But even though that is a big issue,
yeah, there was both.
Mother 3.
It was not really Splatoon. It was because of Melee that the Splatoon community got involved, and then Nintendo canceled the tournament. But
they canceled both tournaments
because the Splatoon tournament was having a bunch of teams in their final, bracket saying free Melee. So that was just a sub part of it. But the biggest part is Melee itself. But what I'm Super Smash Bros. Melee. But I'm not talking about that specifically, even though it's a big issue. It's just stingy on a lot of some of their games. Maybe they don't think it will make money or something like that. Because I would love for Nintendo to give the green light on certain companies to be like, or for certain series to be like, let's start another this or another that, another sequel to this game or something like that. I don't know.
I think it all boils down to, because here's where I draw the line, and I think I've noticed this too. Why do you think so many studios, let's look at Rockstar, let's look at Nintendo, let's look at all these companies. Back in the day, these guys, when during the generation of the PlayStation 2 and Xbox and the original Xbox, let's just be honest though, the price of entry to build games on those platforms was much more smaller. So to them, they have to be sure to be like, okay, we need to make games on certain franchises that we know are going to sell. That's why we don't have an F-Zero. That's why we don't have a Star Fox. And then when they do want to take a chance and they want to be like, all right, we're going to make another Metroid game, even though people wanted it on the Switch, they said no, we have to put this on the 3DS instead. And that's the risk they have to take. And that's the problem that drove me crazy with the last Mario and Luigi game. You released a Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which is a great game, on a system that people and yourself even said we're kind of done with this system. So why are we still releasing for it? You know what I'm saying? And then they act surprised, like, well, why did no one buy this game? People don't want to play it, but not on that platform.
Obviously, we can look at the sales of Animal Crossing and how well it did because of how good of a game it was, and plus it was at the beginning of quarantine for a lot of people throughout the world. So I get why people got that game as well, because everyone else was getting it. So that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. So obviously it was
and Animal Crossing sells, so
and they're gonna make more. They're gonna do more stuff with it. I get that. Maybe new game, but people. I've talked to people who stop playing the game for a bit and then they come back to it. It's the exact same thing. So replayability, and if you're doing it by yourself, it's not something that a lot of people tend to do unless they're doing it with friends. But all I know is that the game itself is good. It's just there's got to be more soul into it, a lot more love. It's just Nintendo's becoming just a little bit more stingy. Nintendo's always had this issue about saying they're just really strict on a lot of things, but that's just Nintendo's shtick.
Well,
yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it. So we'll have to wait and see if Nintendo will ever give any other franchises aside from Mario and Zelda any more attention and love.
Sells.
So
they sell.
So, guys.
Yeah, Retro Prime.
Well, yeah, but where is it?
Coming out. Don't worry.
At one point, it'll probably come out by the time the Switch ends.
Eventually.
Yeah. Same with Breath of the Wild sequel. Anyways, so I want to go ahead and change the topic up, guys, because I think that I want to get a little bit more personal. And I want to ask you guys something. You know what I love? I love music, right? I've been listening to a lot of music. And I had this funny thought to me the other day. I was on Spotify, right? And speaking about Nintendo, unlike Nintendo, Sega puts a lot of their shit publicly available on many services like Spotify, like Sonic CDs, Sonic Adventure, the Yakuza soundtracks, all these things, right? It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's better to, release it on a service that people pay for and make some money rather than, God forbid, you take down YouTube channels for uploading your music because you can't put it anywhere else because certain companies take them down. You know what I'm probably talking about. Well, I had this funny thought the other day, right? I was listening to the Sonic CD Japanese soundtrack, which slaps. It's phenomenal music. But I had this funny thought. You know when, like, parents will tell their kids, they're like, hey, man, I was listening to this album when we conceived you, when we were conceiving you, when they were fucking, right?
All right.
And I had this funny thought. What video game soundtrack would you put? The minimum has to be an hour that you have to tell your kids, I fucked your mom while this soundtrack was playing in the background.
Does it have to be from a video game?
Halo 2.
I called it. I'm going to call it right now. Kenny's going to say Halo, and Marcos is going to say Doom.
No, I was going to... My first one was... Obviously, it has to be a video game, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it has to be a video game soundtrack. From beginning to end.
You're going to love this one.
Okay.
For me, the first one would have been Halo as well, but a specific song.
So the Halo theme
No.
playing?
It's Halo 3 ODST, the sad song that's playing in the back.
The sax, fuck.
For me, it was
that
be Breaking Benjamin.
It's gonna be that post-nut clarity that you're like just like at the corner of the bed.
Not the Breaking Benjamin.
You're just in the corner of the bed with the post-nut clarity. You're just listening to the saxophone and the piano. You're just like there. But my second one was going to be the what was it? Dude, it escaped my head. Do you remember in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle when you when you enter the Child World, but it's there's two different versions. One where you're in the story mode, and one when you're outside in stage select. That one where you're in the hub world of Child World, where it's just that same music playing over and over again. Just those two songs. Why? I don't know. But
It just gets my rocks up. I just thought it would be funny. It'd be like you'll be listening to just driving next to your kid, and you're listening to like I don't know Quartz Quadrant or better yet Stardust Speedway like Good Future, and say, hey, I fucked your mom listening to this song.
Listen. The third one would obviously be Supersonic Racing from Sonic Racers.
Bro, mine would be the original.
Hey, man.
The original Super Mario soundtrack. You know, on the NES.
The NES game.
The original, the first
Jesus
track.
Christ.
Just on loop.
Well, then the Nintendo Ninjas come in post coitus, and then they have to DMCA you.
Look, all I know is I'm going to be playing Call of Duty. If I ever have kids, I'm going to be playing Call of Duty. I'm just going to join their lobby, be in the enemy team, right? And then I'll kick that kid's butt. And I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go F your mom. And then I just get offline. And then
you got to force them to play Modern Warfare 2. Team Deathmatch, no party.
Yeah.
So it's just you as a boomer and other boomer kids, and then later your kids as well.
Well, no, not even that. We're gonna be playing Black Ops 1 on Nuketown. I know all the spawn points, and I'm just gonna keep quick scoping him through the walls. And just
do that on Rust, dude. What are you talking about?
So maybe I should consider the idea of like post nutting playing Sonic Adventure soundtrack or Sonic.
No, it's going to be the
rolling at the speed of G-Spot.
No, it's going to be the it's either okay. I changed my Chow one. It's not going to be the hub world. It's going to be when you're saying goodbye to the Chow. That sad music that plays when you're saying goodbye to the Chow. So yeah, sad music for me when Conception was made. Just pure sad music. It's like, babe,
this is the song.
Babe, while you're crying, I got the post-nut clarity. I understand.
No, that's when the Halo theme starts kicking in.
The what was it? The Halo what was it? Halo 3's main menu theme song. I forgot what that thing was called. With the piano, where it's just sad, just sad music all around.
Yeah.
Because I'm not pounding the homies. I'm pounding my loved one, but I'm not pounding the homies.
But you're also wearing socks.
What's that? Socks?
I can't sleep with socks. That's weird. I start sweating.
No, it's not sleeping with socks. It's sleep with socks.
Oh, it's like, all right, babe, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're just wearing socks, nothing else.
The Lightning McQueen Crocs stay on during coitus.
The Sonic Adventure 2 soap shoes stay on.
I gotta grind on
I want to grail grind this.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man! So I think we're gonna leave it at that. So yeah, in chat, I want everyone to respond. What video game soundtrack would you be playing while you're making love with your significant other and then having the child? And I want you to tell that child which soundtrack you're listening to. It could be any. It could be the Yakuza karaoke tracks for all I care. I don't care. You could be. You could like get post nut clarity and then you're listening to Baka Matai and I'll be giggling my ass off.
It's going to be Punch Out music because I have
Punch Out. Donkey Punch.
Because domestic violence is a joke at this point. Hey man, just because I'm a bottom doesn't mean anything, okay?
Bottom energy.
Bottom energy.
Get you. So yeah, I guess we could go ahead and leave it at that. You guys have anything else left to say before we go?
How are you feeling after recovering from Ligma?
I don't know.
Lick my balls! I got him!
Yeah, I guess you did.
I got
Marcos.
more chromosomes as you get wrecked.
Well, thank you for watching DKM episode 11.
Thank you, Kenny. And that is all, folks. And that is all.
Leave a comment and like.
The show is over.
Leave a comment and like, and hope to see you on the next one.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.